Hello everyone, my name is Joel and this is a review of the Tik Tok 4K Ultra HD camera. And by Tik Tok camera I mean that I got this camera from the Tik Tok shop like last week and I got it for very cheap. Right now, we'll look at the listing. It's going for I think about 40 bucks, but I got it for 18 because I had some new customer TikTok discount, customer voucher, sale. I ended up getting the camera for 18 bucks. This is an 18-pound camera. And yeah, I'm gonna review it, let you guys know what I think of it. There are a lot of reviews of different TikTok cameras on social media, on YouTube. But this one, I don't think I've seen a review for this specific model. So look out for this one because I think this review might be different than some of the other ones. I've had the camera now for about 2 days and I've only managed to use it a little bit, so I don't know that much about it. But fun fact, I'm actually recording on the camera right now. I'll go into some of the settings I have on, but however this is looking, this is that camera. So I thought I'd start off with how's it looking, because I'm in a very well lit room and yeah, am I in focus? I don't know what's going on. We'll check. I'm probably gonna switch to a different camera now so I can actually show you what the camera looks like. This is just the intro, but yeah, how do I look? This is the camera. This is what it looks like. It says 16 times powerful zoom, f2.2, 3.37 millimeter autofocus lens. This lens, I'm pretty sure, is a prime lens, as in, well, one, you can't, twist and zoom out of it, but also you can't change the lens on this camera. This is the lens it comes with, so don't be expecting to, put a better lens on it unless you want to put a lens on a lens, which might work, but I'm pretty sure you can't take this off, and I don't want to break it because I will say that feeling this camera, bearing in mind, I got it for 18 bucks, it's meant to cost 40. It does feel, it's got a little bit of weight to it, but it's very light. It is a very light camera. And, compared to other heavier cameras, it looks like it would be heavier than it is. It being light can obviously be a good thing for carrying it around all day. It feels okay, like it doesn't feel expensive, but I personally don't think it feels that cheap. It feels okay, but I do think, look at it close enough and you can maybe kind of tell that it's, not got the best build quality. Like I do worry if I drop this, game over. Like I do worry that it will break instantly if I drop it, so I'm gonna try not to. But I think it looks good. Personal opinion, I think it looks solid. It looks like pretty much any other camera out there, you feel me? If you were to go somewhere with this, I don't think anyone would look at it and assume it's a extremely cheap camera, If they feel it and use it, that's a different story, but just holding on to it, I think it looks a-okay. I mean, looking at it, I think it looks a-okay. So that's the front, 4K Ultra HD, we'll see about that if that's true. This is the top. Here you have flash, which comes out like that. So now if I show you the front, you can see it does have a flash for photography and filming. We'll obviously try that out and see how it does. Then you just push that back in to close it. You got this here where you can attach a microphone. I have used the camera a little bit and I can say that the audio quality from this is terrible. You can hear what you're saying and I'll show you guys an example, but in the intro I had to record the audio from a external microphone, a different microphone. I will show you what the audio sounded like on the camera. So my advice, don't use this for audio. Get yourself a different microphone, whether it's a portable one, a separate mic, or of course you can attach a microphone to this camera and connect it, and then yeah, it has audio, but it's just crap. It sounds muffly, it sounds quiet, not really usable for anything at all professional. You have the on button, you have the record button. This toggle is how you zoom in and out. You've got this dial here with a couple different settings. I'll get in real nice and close for you guys. Get it in focus if I can. Good enough. You have video, camera, so video for filming, video, photos is the green camera. This is if you're doing portrait work of one person. This is if it's a landscape. This is if it's at night. This is to get some special filters and stuff, which I'll show you all these modes, what they look like later. This is to do special effects, like make the camera all blue or black and white or negative, some cool stuff you can do. This is to do the settings. This is to do slow-mo and back to video recording. So that's the top of the camera. Again, not that many buttons compared to a more expensive camera. This is that side for attaching, you know, one of these. This is the other side. I guess that was the speaker. You can connect, like I said, a microphone to this camera. You can connect, the way you charge this camera, by the way, is through USB-C. So there is no battery charger, and there's no way to get the battery out unless you unscrew the whole camera. Like, you just charge it with a USB-C and it charges like any other portable device. I quite like that because it is convenient, it's easy. I have a portable charger on me all the time, so I can always charge this camera on the go. Same charger as, that's, you know, USB-C is what most people use for their phone, stuff like that. So super easy, you'll always be able to charge it. But it's a bit strange that camera is not using a, you know, camera battery, quite different. Then here you have a way to connect the device through HDMI to a screen. I have not managed to get this to work yet, unfortunately. So that's something to look into, because I have not managed to get that to work. I'll keep trying though. Theoretically, you should be able to connect the camera to your TV screen through HDMI, and then you can play back what you're recording on the television, but I haven't got it to work yet. Don't know if it's just me though. I'll keep looking into that. Yeah, that brings us to the bottom of the camera, where you can attach a tripod here, and this is where there is a camera battery, and you do need to put it in, and I have put it in, but there's no camera battery charger. So I was wrong. I forget you can access the battery, and maybe you could put the battery into a different camera battery charger, but you don't need to. You can just charge it straight to the camera. And then this is also where you'll put in your SD card. It comes with a micro SD card, which I put in. Excuse me. The micro SD card is 32 gigabytes. And yeah, I put it in, and that's the battery there. So boom, let's look at what you can actually do on the camera. So that button you press to get the flash up, hold it down. This, surprise, surprise, is actually a front-facing camera right here, and this lets you switch to it. So we'll be trying out the front-facing camera later. Don't ask me why it has a front-facing camera. I don't know any digital camera that normally has a front-facing camera, but when I say front-facing, I mean it has a camera on both sides. It has a lens here, but you can do this. Do this. Hello, 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 hello. Very, very interesting, you know. Don't know why that's there, but we'll check the quality of that too. I mean, at the end of the day, that's a W, you know, 20 bucks and you get 2 cameras actually, you know. And that can of course be useful if maybe you are a vlogger or something and you do want to just film yourself. Of course, this camera is going to be lower quality than the front one, but it's an option, it's usable, it's there. And we'll see, well, we'll see if it's usable. We'll see if any of this is usable, you know. This is just lets you get rid of the display, turn the screen black, get rid of the menu. Then we have a slider wheel. This is to get rid of stuff. I'm not actually too sure what these top 3 buttons do. Menu and playback. So we'll go to menu and I'll show you what's going on here. So for the first thing on the menu, movie size. We are currently filming in 4K Ultra HD apparently. You can go down to just HD, Full HD. Let's stay on the highest quality 4K Ultra HD. Go, and when you hit something on the menu closes, so you need to reopen the menu, go back on it. This is beauty face. No idea what this does, but let's keep it off. Ideally, we don't want the camera doing too much automatically. We want to be able to control it ourselves. If we go on video, this is for time-lapse recording and time-lapse photos. So that's something you can do. We'll keep it on normal for now. So you can do time-lapse stuff. These are some time-lapse settings, time interval. Don't know how much I'll be using that, but you know, I might try it. Then we get to some actual camera settings. Now you may have noticed not that many buttons on this camera. there's not that much you can control. So that's definitely a con. With most cameras, you can control a lot of the camera settings. On this, we have ISO, which it defaults to auto. I wouldn't recommend it unless you're outside. So, you know, try to stick on around 100 ISO. You only get options of 200 and 400. The camera doesn't go any higher than that, even though there are cameras that have ISOs that reach like thousands. So again, limiting, but if you're a beginner or whatever, probably okay. We have sharpness as the next setting, which we can kind of guess what that might do, as in make the lines more sharp. Right now I'm keeping it on just sharp. So what you've seen earlier in the intro, that's me recording with the settings that I'm showing you now. So that should be sharp. The white balance, you have automatic, which I would not use, and then you just have a few different options. Again, kind of limiting, only 4 or 5 options, but I think it does an okay job. I mean, that this wall isn't quite white, to be fair, but in my experience, obviously we'll test it out. It's not bad, you know. Right now I'm inside, so it's going to be a tungsten thing, and the white balance is okay, I think. Next, we have exposure. I have it on +1 right now. Again, these are the settings. It's, you know, pretty straightforward. I just have it on +1. And then on the actual camera screen, you can see menu. You can see what type of white balance you have, which is, I'm inside using light, so I've got it on tungsten. You can see your exposure level. Right now I have it on +1. You can see your ISO, which is at 100. I'm not sure what that icon means. That is the battery, which I will review the battery life. I'm not too sure how long the battery lasts, but I will say that I fully charged it before starting this review, and it's probably been about 20 minutes of use, and that's how low the battery's gone. Not sure what that means. That's how long I've been recording. It's in 4K right now. We're on video mode. So that's pretty much everything on the camera. Should I maybe take this off? Maybe. Well, that might actually affect the quality of that camera, actually, so I should take that off. Good thing I noticed that. So yeah, like I said, the camera feels good. Like, I do think it feels good. It doesn't feel too cheap. It feels okay. It doesn't feel expensive, but it doesn't, to me, it doesn't feel completely like a toy. But compared to a more expensive camera, like a $2,000 camera, then yeah, it might feel like well, it will feel like a toy. But again, I don't think it looks that much like one. I think it looks like a solid camera, and it feels okay. I can't stress this enough. It feels all right. It doesn't feel too bad. Doesn't feel too cheap. Buttons feel okay. So if I'm reviewing so far just the physical look of the camera and the settings and everything, pretty mid, you know, not good, because it's only a few things you can control, only a few settings, but you know, not too bad. You can do enough, and it feels good enough, you know. It feels fine. Honestly, it feels fine. The menu is arguably not fine, arguably not good enough, but you know, it's something. So let's actually look at some footage and see what this camera looks like. Bro, audio is gonna be fucked. This is the camera. Don't forget the flash. Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check on the close-up. I guess I can zoom in for you guys. See how much you can zoom one way. Let's see how much you can zoom the other way. This is the camera zoomed all the way out, and I'm standing at this distance. Can you even hear me? Well, there you guys have it. My review of the viral TikTok. I guess this isn't specifically the viral TikTok camera, but you get the gist. One of these viral TikTok cameras. The company was called Melcam. I'll put the link in the description to buy it because I highly recommend this camera. For 40 bucks, if that's what you can afford, you're getting a decent camera, which, let's face it, your smartphone probably has a better camera than this camera. But if your phone is older than 7 years old, then this camera can give your phone a run for its money. More importantly, it's a good like backup camera if you need one. Say your smartphone's your first camera, this is a good backup. Say your smartphone dies, you'll be glad that you have this as a backup. Alternatively, if you just want to get better at using actual cameras and you want to familiarize yourself with the settings, maybe you're a super beginner or you're a young kid, then I highly recommend this camera. You know, it's solid. For the price, you get more than what you paid for, in my opinion. I think that this camera, with what I've got from it, some HD video, some HD pictures, in some settings, the camera looks really solid. You just have to get used to it. You have to know which environments it works well in, which ones it doesn't. And let's not forget that it does actually have its own flash, which I didn't make use of, but I'm sure it's decent. That being said, I think this camera could easily be worth 100 bucks. So if you're getting it for 40 or 50, that's a huge bargain. Any less than that, you're basically getting like so much for free. I've also come to the realization, if I didn't mention before, that the front-facing camera is actually the same quality as the front-facing, which is insane. They're both good quality. All in all, it's a good quality camera that takes good quality pictures, good quality video, and is a good camera for a super cheap price. Now, don't get me wrong. If you want to be serious at all about videography or photography, do not get this. You should expect to pay a lot more than 100 bucks for an actual great camera that takes great photo and video. This doesn't do that. But I will say personally, in my opinion, it does take good photo and video, which maybe good isn't enough if you're trying to be professional. But if you're starting a YouTube channel or it's for your kids or you just want to vlog, nothing too serious, I think it's a-okay. But again, your smartphone probably has a better camera, so you could just stick with that. I'd only recommend this if you would like a backup camera for your smartphone, if you want to experiment with an actual camera, if you need it as a prop maybe, or if you really can't afford anything better. Otherwise, just save up for a better camera or upgrade your smartphone. All in all, if I'm comparing this camera to all other cameras out there, I'd probably give it a solid 4 out of 10, which for the price I think is perfectly fine. But judging it as a low budget camera, I'd give it a solid 6 out of 10. Judging it for what it is good. But if I'm judging it to the most expensive cameras out there, then it's a little below average. I'ma say average. Pardon my language. I'ma say this is a 5 out of 10 camera. And that's my review.